where do we stand in competition? And I don't want to focus specifically on Italy, but rather Europe. That should be the purpose. Europe, 180 million accesses. 150 are still controlled by the, roughly, by the incumbents. 30 million by number 2 is number 3. So these 30 million, you know, roughly 10, 12 are resale, and 20 are ULL. And the good news is that ULL is growing. So, first statement, yes, there is a little bit more competition, but then let's look at the facts. And, you know, Chairman Vittorio has mentioned a minus, 20% in 6-7 years of prices. I could say that, you know, as far as we are concerned in Europe, we've got a minus 15% in 1 year. So you might judge whether this is good or bad. But let's take a little bit of an approach. Let's look at the actual goal. What are we trying to achieve here? Are we trying to achieve more competition, or are we trying to achieve just some kind of technological setup? And of course, the objective, I believe, should be more competition, more choice. So what I would like to draw your attention on is one chart that I ask please to project, which is assuming that somebody can project it, of course, which is the concentration index in the triple, narrowband, broadband, and mobile access lines. Because at the end of the day, European citizens, top chart, you see that there's one very virtuous country, which is UK, and we all know that UK is a place where there's a lot of competition in all the 3 narrow, broad, and mobile sectors, and the rest they look more or less at the same level. You might notice that in the last 2 years it's kind of a flat index. The index is not coming down, which means that concentration is not decreasing, but more or less they look all of them the same level. However, if you take out the mobile industry, in other words, if you take out the most competitive piece of our industry, what you see that UK is still very, UK is the red line, is still very competitive. Italy, unfortunately, is the top line, so really is the most concentrated, not the least concentrated. And the others are there with somebody who was kind of virtuous and is becoming a little bit less virtuous. And we have actually read this morning in the press that Brussels is moving in some cases to try to enforce more competition. So, conclusion number 1 from my point of view, from Vodafone's point of view, is yes, there is competition. Yes, ULL is growing. Yes, it's kind of a positive thing. However, if we set ourselves a broad goal, which is there should be more competition, and I agree with Commissario D'Angelo, the real thing that we should measure is the result, not discuss about whether it's functional or structural separation. Is this bringing more competition in our markets or not? And this type of analysis clearly indicates that we have some growth.